What is up, guys? It is Marcus of Well Played Games here, coming at you with a little bit of an interesting deck profile. It's not game-changing, it's not meta-defining, and essentially that's what you need to be able to do when you play this game. You need to have fun. So we're playing Magikey. This deck is actually pretty powerful for the tier of deck that it is. It ends on a really strong end board, and once it starts, it just doesn't stop. So we're gonna get right into it. Starting off with our 3 ritual monsters, we played 2 Musket Basto Buster and 1 Mortar Gearglasser. This deck has a lot of searching power, so piece of advice, play some Call by the Grave for some Cross-Out Designator if you really want to not lose your own Lockbird. Basto Buster is your search on Ritual Summon. That's mainly the effect you're going to use. The other effect doesn't really come up. Gearglasser is your Baron, quote unquote. It negates monster effects that match the attribute of monsters in your graveyard if it's Ritual Summon with 2 or more attributes. And that's the whole gimmick of this deck, is having monsters in your graveyard with the matching attributes of the monsters your opponent has. If you make this before the opponent has the chance to nib you, you can use a Light and Fire, and you can actually prevent them from nibbing and ashing because it negates and destroys without a cost. Like, you don't discard anything, you don't banish anything. If it's Ritual Summoned, negate, destroy. And if they send this to the graveyard, you search for Magikey cards. Like, this is really one of the strongest monsters in this deck. Continuing on with our 3 copies of Magnificent Mafkey Mafteal. This guy is very magnificent. You reveal him in your hand while you have a Magikey on the board. You get a normal summon of a Magikey monster, and when he's normal summoned, you get to bring back a Magikey monster or a level 4 or lower normal monster in defense. He's also a level 4 tuner. Oh my god, what more could they have done for this deck other than hit? Konami gives this deck more support, I'm gonna go to the moon. He is your play extender after halqifibrax plays. He's one of the best new additions to this deck. And now on to the vanillas that we have to play. We do play 6 vanillas. We play 2 copies of Clavkiss, the Magikey Sky Blaster, 1 copy of Gunken Shari, 1 copy of Flash Knight, 1 copy of Sky Scout, 1 Angel Trumpeter, and 1 Magical Libra. So we're actually playing 7 vanillas. There is a reason for all of these specific choices. Clavkiss is your in archetype normal monster. You can die all of these. If you feel like playing Reinforcing the Army, you can play 1 to search out this, but you don't really need to because you have technically 8 to 9 searchers in this deck already. You play Shari because it is a fire attribute. Flash Knight and Sky Scout are both 600 defense, and that comes up later on, I promise you. It's really important. Angel Trumpeter and Magical Libra are both unexpected die targets, which are also tuners. Supporting monsters, we play 3 copies of Manju, the 10,000 Hands, normal summon, advanced ritual art, search a ritual monster if we're ever in that position. Pretty self-explanatory. Our main Deskbot 001 and his supporting actor, Mecha Phantom Beast Coltwing. The halqifibrax combo is so simple, but it's so fun. You summon out a tune any way to get halqifibrax, summon him out. Auroradon gets you him after your 2 tokens. It generates you so much card advantage. Onto our other supporting monsters, we do play 1 copy of Creation Resonator. Again, it comes up, 600 defense. Remember that number, it's very important. 1 Tenyi Spirit Vishuda, 1 Dino Wrestler Pankratops, and 1 Alpha the Master of Beasts. These 3 are mainly your going second options if you're ever stuck in that position. Creation Resonator. Onto our spells, we do play quite a handful of them. 3 copies of Magikey World, 2 copies of Magikey Maftea, and 1 copy of Terraforming. This is such a strong field spell. It is insane. Not only do you search on activation, but you can also search for Maftea while also rearranging your hand in case you brick and draw either Despot 001 or your Coltwing. Terraforming just gets you another Magikey World, as you do. And Magikey World is not restricted to searching monsters. It can also search Maftea in a pinch. World is such a broken field spell. On activation, it searches a monster. You can Maftea from your deck and then put 1 card from your hand to the bottom of your deck. Takes the bricks out your hands and just makes your day better. 3 copies of Preparation of Rites, 2 copies of Advanced Ritual Art. Not only do you use Advanced Ritual Art to get your vanillas out of the deck, after you start your combos, you can prep for Musket, and then you can get Advanced Ritual Art back so you can just summon more Muskets, or you can summon Gearglasser. Our other combo starters, 1 copy of Instant Fusion, and 3 copies of Unexpected Die. Summons out your vanillas from the deck, summons out your only Instant Fusion target in this deck, which is the level 4 Magikey Fusion, which also gets you Maftea back from the graveyard. Very, very helpful. Onto our board-breaking cards, which we do have to play, because this deck, it doesn't like Deal Second, but it will in a pinch. 2 copies of Chalice, 2 copies of Cyclone, and 1 copy of Harpy's Feather Duster. Monster negates, removal. Not much else I can say about that. 1 copy of Magikey Unlocking. This card is so good. All you need to control is either a ritual monster, musket, and your Gearglasser, or a Magikey monster that is special from the extra deck, which will usually be your Transferal Mine. Unlocking negates the activations of spells and traps, destroys them, and it changes the attributes of monsters your opponent controls into one that you choose. It's so good because it sets up for Transferal Mine pop effect. We'll get into that later when I actually show him off to you. Onto the extra deck, we have one copy of Magikey Spirit Febraury, one copy of Magikey Beast. I play this deck and I still can't say his name. Magikey Dragon, and Febraury. Febraury searches a normal monster on Exceed Summon by detaching material. And if it has a normal monster's material, if it battles opponent's monster and it has an attribute of a monster in your graveyard, you just have to send it. It doesn't matter if it gets destroyed or not, just send it to graveyard. Bye. Ancillary is not only a level 4 fusion, it's also a tuner. It searches Magikey from graveyard to hand upon fusion summon. It also has the nifty effect of changing an attack position monster your opponent controls to defense. It has the same attribute as one in your grave, and it loses 1,000 defense. So anything you have problems getting over, it just deals with it for you, and it banishes the monster that it kills by battle. Now, Febraury is a special case. You have to make it with a Magikey effect monster and a normal monster. So you're either using Math Teal, or you're using one of your other effect monsters in your extra deck, which don't do that, that's a bad idea. Febraury, they can't activate cards or effects when it's fusion summoned. It is not like Kali Yuga, and it's not like Azathoth. I wish it was to make this deck a lot more fun, but they can't respond to its fusion summon. Once per turn, you can target a normal monster or Magikey in your graveyard. You can target a Magikey or a normal monster in your graveyard, destroy all monsters your opponent controls with the same attribute as that target. And if a monster your opponent controls is destroyed, by any means, not just by its own effect, you draw one. But for that effect, you do need to have fusion summoned it with monsters using different materials, different attributes, I apologize. Onto our Link monsters, because we do play, aside from the obvious ones, one copy of Link Spider, one Monk of the Tenyi, the boy himself, Crystron halqifibrax, and Mecha Phantom Beast of Rorodon. This is mainly if you get open unexpected die, and this is for your Vashuda. This is the star of the deck. If they negate this and you don't have a way to play through it, you're done. But if they don't negate this, they are done. They are not playing Yu-Gi-Oh anymore. Now onto our Synchros, because obviously if you're playing Rorodon, you're playing a heavy Synchro engine. One copy of Cupid Pitch, one Herald of the Arclight, one Coral Dragon, one F.A. Dawn Dragster, one Psyframe Lord Omega, one Magikey Fiend Transferal Mine, one Borreload Savage Dragon, and one Baron de Fleur. Sorry, cheap casual players, this deck might not be for you. Possible alternatives do include Adamantipator, Rise and Dragite, any of the other level 10s that you can make generically. I'm pretty sure Satellite Warrior does not meet those restrictions, because I think you need a tuner and a Synchro monster. Your end board, if your halqifibrax combo goes off, will always be Aaron, Borreload Savage, Transferal Mine, and 2 other cards. Omega is just if you want hand knowledge, and if they have any interruptions before, they certainly will now. Coral Dragon is my personal favorite, just draw one. Dragster is your other optional way if you don't want to go into Coral Dragon. Herald is your main searcher. And Cupid Pitch. Oh man, Cupid Pitch. This card is so good. People have been saying this card is going to be good. You can increase or reduce the level of Cupid Pitch by the tuner you use to Synchro summon it. You're always going to make Cupid Pitch with a token summoned off of the Mecha Phantom Beast and with Despot 001. The tuner is going to be your Despot 1, and it'll increase the Cupid Pitch to level 5. When you use Cupid Pitch for Synchro Summon, you search for a monster with 600 defense, and you burn your opponent for 100 times the level of the monster that is summoned using Cupid Pitch's material. That's going to be Borreload Savage. You're burning for 8, searching for a monster with 600 defense, which is always most likely going to be Creation Resonator. Because you control Borreload Savage, you can summon Creation Resonator, which lets you do more Synchro plays. This deck is linear in its design, but broad in its approach. Since it's really, really broad, you can open any hand, and 9 times out of 10, you'll be able to do your full combo. And I'll show that to you right now.